You want me to be vulnerable? You know that's how I got hurt in the first place, right? I don't trust anyone. How can I be vulnerable with somebody? Is it okay to be vulnerable? Let's talk about it. What's going on, guys? This week's episode of Therapy Thursdays, I want to discuss the topic of being vulnerable and vulnerability. That's a lot of syllables. Vulnerability. Many people don't like that. Some of you who are watching this video right now, as soon as I said the word vulnerable, a little bit of anxiety got in your system. Being vulnerable is both a beautiful thing and a terrible thing. It really just depends on the outcome of the situation. But the reason that I want to talk about vulnerability is that it's necessary. It's necessary in life when it comes to any kind of relationships. Being vulnerable is a scary place to be, okay? I'm not preaching anything that I haven't personally lived through. Being vulnerable sucks, flat out. I'm not going to paint a pretty picture. It sucks. And it really sucks for those who have been hurt time and time again. And if this is you, you know who I'm talking to. But personally, I know what it's like, man, to be hurt by countless amounts of people. And that's in many ways, like a biological father, many ex-girlfriends, old friends. Like, I know I could be the poster child of hurt and mistrust and broken trust in people. Like, I know what it's like, man. It hurts. It's painful. You make yourself vulnerable and people don't reciprocate it. People don't trust your vulnerability. People don't respect your vulnerability, and you're leaving yourself wide open and people hurt you in the process. So knowing that, how could I ask you to be vulnerable again? Well, I do my best to practice what I preach. And despite past events, which are valid, I'm not going to say that your past experiences are invalid or forget about the past. We should learn from the past. Anything in the past, they're all teachable moments. So use them as a teachable moment to learn and to grow from them. So the only way to establish future relationships, great, amazing relationships that we all hope and dream for, is to be vulnerable. There's no way around it. I wish there was another way. I wish I had this secret plan of secret relationships exposed here, free for the public, the first time ever. Like, the reality is you have to be vulnerable. It sucks. You have to be open. You have to be weak. And being vulnerable means that you are open to the possibility of getting hurt again. We don't want that. We've already had enough pain. We've already had enough suffering. You want me to go through that again? Anytime we open ourselves up to a new relationship, it's a gamble. It can go incredibly wrong, or it can go incredibly right. It could be that relationship that we were hoping for, that friendship, that friend that we can depend on and that's always there by our side, that boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, spouse, that is our romantic dreams come to life, that is the perfect partner and is loving and supportive and empathetic and sympathetic and loving and just everything we want. But in order to get to that point, we have to be vulnerable. We have to open our hearts up. And for those who have been through pain, the number one thing you want to do with your heart is close it. You want to keep your heart closed. You want to surround yourself and build walls around yourself so that no one could ever get in again and no one can hurt me the way I've been hurt before. When you block out those people from hurting you, you're also blocking out those from blessing you, from creating amazing, wonderful, meaningful relationships in your life. So the reality is being vulnerable is a gamble. You don't know. Even the people that you thought you trusted with your life, they can hurt you. They probably have hurt you. So I guess we have to be realistic in our understanding first, is understanding that it's a very real possibility that people can hurt you. There is no situation where the potential for pain does not exist. Like, let's wrap our head around that. There is no perfect scenario. There's no perfect person. There is no perfect relationship. Like, people are going to mess up. You're going to mess up. I've messed up. So to understand that framework, okay, people are going to mess up. So when we're being vulnerable, we need to be smart about our vulnerability. What I mean by that is don't be vulnerable with just anyone. Anyone walking down the street, any person from taking the bus or the train, or any coworker you work with, don't be vulnerable with just anyone. See, your heart is precious and you want to protect it, but you don't want to build up these huge walls that no one can ever get in, because you're limiting yourself from getting to know amazing people and having amazing relationships. So what you need to do is be smart about who you're vulnerable with, and have, I talked about having standards before in a previous episode, but it's true. Have a set of standards that if a person doesn't meet, you shouldn't be vulnerable with them. You should interview them, grill them, find out who they are, their history, like almost ask for a resume, ask their friends or their family members, but like get to know a person before opening yourself up and being vulnerable with it. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's great because people can love you in ways that you could never imagine. But you want to be smart about that. If you just open yourself up to the whole world, you are going to be torn up, because there's not bad people in the world. There's just broken and hurt people in the world, and they don't know anything but hurt and pain. And therefore they give hurt and pain to other people. So you have to protect your heart, protect your mind, your peace, your sanity. And don't allow just anybody into your life. Find people who have similar goals, similar passions, similar values and beliefs, and try to stay around those people. And still, don't just open your heart up the moment you meet them or you know them a couple days, had a couple conversations, had a few text message exchanges. Like, take your time, take days, take weeks, take months before you open up to somebody, but be willing to open up. If your heart is so closed off, your walls and your barriers can turn off good people. You can have a good, kind-hearted person that genuinely wants to get to know you and have a friendship, have a relationship, but they are met by these walls, and you're forcing them to punch through these bricks and mortar and cement to get to your heart. And after a while, man, people are only human. We get tired. Be like, you know what? It's not worth it. So have a fence around you, but have it be a little white picket fence made out of wood and rusty old nails that can be taken down pretty easily if somebody puts forth the effort. So protect yourself 100%. Your peace of mind, your heart, your peace of mind and frame of mind is your responsibility. You hold that it's up to you. Nobody else is in charge of that. So protect it, but don't protect it to the point where nobody can get in. We have to be vulnerable. Again, it sucks because it always can lead to the possibility of somebody playing with our emotions, playing with our heart, playing with our peace of mind, and driving us crazy, and making us worse off than we ever were before. But we have to take that chance, because there's the other side of the coin. It's the beauty. It's connecting with another human being in deep, intimate ways. Like, there's so much great out there, but be smart. Use your logic. Be selective with whom you're vulnerable with. Being vulnerable is great, but again, it could also be bad. We won't ever know for sure. I wish there was a guarantee. Follow X, Y, and Z and you'll find the perfect person and the perfect relationship. It doesn't exist, but we can put up measures and practices to help prevent us from just blindly opening up our hearts to random people. So you need to be vulnerable. Just be vulnerable with the right people, because there are great things out there for you, and you could limit yourself if you allow the crappy people and the crappy experiences from your past to limit and hinder your potential amazing future relationships. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, please follow me on all my social media channels. Sign up for my mailing list on my website at sharethepositivity.com. Please like this video, leave a comment below, share the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video. Let's get the word out. Thank you guys for tuning in. Peace.